and to bring everybody together, because no more will we allow ladies to be underserved in the rodeo industry, and that's what Women's Rodeo World Championship and Women's Rodeo Championship wants to do.
How does it feel to be awarded the first ever Breaking Trail Leadership Award?
It feels amazing. It feels humbling. I don't necessarily 100% feel like I deserve it. Like I've said in the past, before, that I just don't know if I've done enough in the industry to be able to accept the award that, for all the things that you've done. And I just don't know if I've quite finished that chapter yet, that I've accomplished enough to be deserving of the award. But then on the other side of it, it has that humbling, pretty grateful that all that work that you do is noticed, and that people do see it, and that they see how my passion is behind the industry and how I really want to make it better for the female athletes that are, working really hard and share their stories. And it's an amazing feeling, because you just don't expect it when you're in the grind and you're in the trenches and you have all of these, hustles and bustles and irons in the fire. You don't realize that people actually are taking notice of the things that you're doing. So I'm very humbled by it. Thank you.
I had a great opportunity to watch you in action, and it jumped out to me, your passion and your care. And I do believe it is your care for the industry, for the women athletes out there. And maybe help me share with me a little bit about your care for this industry and the women in the sport.
Yeah, I obviously growing up in a stock contracting family, you wear a lot of hats, and people don't 100% realize, in my opinion, how much women do for rodeo. And women are the backbone. If there was a spine, it's all women, because it's rodeo secretaries and timers and just the business side of it. Generally, the marketing is all done by females. And then you look at the industry, and it's cowboy. It's the romanticism of the cowboy, and they never say anything about the cowgirl or the ladies that are back there. When you go to a rodeo, the very first thing that happens is a prayer and the American flag carried by a cowgirl, but nobody sees that. That's the only pageantry that happens to celebrate women. That's the one thing that we've always done. I was 6 and I carried the American flag here at the Thomas and Mack. And that was a crazy feeling, in front of 17,000 people as a 6-year-old carrying the American flag and going up on a turntable. And you don't realize that there was a script that was written by a woman.
Exactly. What year was that?
1989.
Wow.
Yeah, 1989.
Isn't that beautiful? That reminds me of a memory I think I shared with you a little bit, but your grandfather had the rodeo at Last Chance Stampede in Helena, and I remember his pageantry, flag girls coming out of the bucking chutes, and a lot of other things that he did out there to really bring it into a show and really help the audience get involved in it. So maybe share a couple examples of that.
I think it's funny because people, we get selfish as athletes. Obviously I still compete, and I, it's funny because, they're athletes, but they forget that we have to figure out a way to touch every single soul that bought a ticket, but primarily the littlers, the little kids that are sitting there, and they need to see it and love it and come back. And so that was what Grandpa really cared about was, he cared about the Cowboys, but he didn't care about the Cowboys as much as he cared about the people that bought the tickets to pay for that rodeo to make it happen. And if we as an industry don't really focus in on that, and we kind of get sidetracked by the hustle and bustle of the athlete needs more and the athlete needs this, which they do, and they do deserve, fair shakes, especially the females in the industry, but we have to continue to cultivate that relationship with the fan and bring in new people to appreciate our industry and to appreciate how hard it is at what we do and the care that we have for our animals and all that. But that was really Grandpa's major thing, was that, you're an athlete, but you forget that this is like the circus.
That's what I picked up on when I saw you there at the finals. a champion in and out of the arena and understood the magnitude of the people that were sitting in those stands watching that rodeo, or those that were watching it on TV, plus everything that was going on in the industry. So speaking to that, the champion in and out of the arena, share with me a little bit your vision and how that you are really attacking. You've touched on it a little bit, but it's those young people that are coming in and others. How do you educate us? How do you bring that to fruition here for us?
As Commissioner of Women's Rodeo Championship, my goal, I started with the organization as a competitor, and I got to this position because I called and I said, hey, this thing is good. It's so good. We were here in Vegas the second year that they had it. I went to and competed at the first one in Fort Worth. The second one was here at South Point. And I called Scott Davis and I said, hey, this deal's way too good. And I know how hard it is to produce a rodeo. I know how hard it is to try to keep everybody happy, but these are just minuscule little changes. I think that would be beneficial to keep the girls interested and to keep the girls vested into this deal. Well, that one phone call turned into a Zoom call that turned into a couple other calls, and then, hey, you want to be the commissioner? And so with that, obviously I accepted to take myself out of the role as contestant, and I put myself in the role of, like, how are we going to make this better? And my passion behind it is that you always had a job. I've always had a job, but I love to rope. and I do love to run barrels when I got a good one. And I love I love the competition, and you're the same way. But we can't go put our horses in the trailer and be gone 9 months out of the year. We can't do it. A mom of 5 kids can't do it, but she still loves the competition. She still loves rope, and maybe she still goes to some weekend jackpots and some little amateur rodeos in the summer, when you got a little time off. And so that's what Women's Rodeo Championship is all about, is to really have an inclusive place for the Jackies and the Larry D's and the Kelsey Domers. And there's a place for them. There's a place for Judy Wagner, and there's a place for Linsay Sumter, and there's a place for a girl that's just beginning her career at 13 years old. And so I really wanted to find a way to not have Women's Rodeo Championship just look like another place that the top girls are only winning. Right. And so what we've done in the last 3 years is really grow that. And with the pro level classification and the challenger classification, and then I implemented this limited classification, which is the bottom side of it. It really does encompass everybody. And I'm so excited, Alma Beth Carroll Case, she was Miss Rodeo America in the 70s. She lives close to there, and I said, hey, I did a deal, and you are the reason why I did it. Because I want a woman like you who didn't ever think that this was gonna be a deal, have a chance to rope one at AT&T. Yeah. And so, the limited competition now, we're taking 1 in the limited, 3 in the challenger, and 3 in the pro, all to AT&T once we get through the competition. And my passion behind it is that the professional rodeo life is hard. I lived it with Wade. He rodeoed for 15 years and trying to keep horses healthy and on the road and trying to keep the place where the weeds aren't growing over the gates and everything. It's so hard. It's a hard life. It's a hard life, and there needs to be an avenue to where we can keep it going, because it's easy to hang it up. It's easy to stop, and we have to keep that passion and drive in the contestant as well as the fans watching the rodeo. But I've seen it. It's easy for those 18 to 24s kind of look at it and the college rodeo deal's over, cattle are expensive, hay's expensive, and they just kind of sell their horses and get a job in town. And if that continues to happen, the numbers diminish, the culture's diminished, and we're a lost society of all of this tradition that we've developed.
Right, and there's so much strength in this industry and this lifestyle, and it's those roots that I spoke to, or the seeds that you're planting right now, that you can speak to that young woman or young that wants to do something. So it's simply amazing, and that's the passion that I heard.
I don't know if did I tell you we're having a goat time?
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Goat tires are their own breed, a true goat tire. Now, we all tied goats,
Yeah.
but now goat tires have turned into these like
Machines.
athletes beyond athletes. They clocked a girl getting off a horse going 35 and stayed on her feet. Like insane amount of athletic ability. And so really after college, kind of now that the breakaway's big, the last 5 years or 6 years now, the break, when you breakaway roped and team roped, we could go to US Opens and World Series and all that, but breakaway was kind of done. Well, now that's developed. So the goat tying, college is over. So we're trying
That's
to
exciting.
Yeah, we're gonna have a goat tying showcase. Now we're working through the College Rodeo Association to let those girls nominate because we had this big bonus at the college finals. But I'm excited to showcase goat tying at women's rodeos and at the Women's Rodeo World Championship in Fort Worth. So it's just gonna
That's
be
a whole new twist in the whole
just
thing.
one more thing it's like in 2008 the WPRA stopped having women's rough stock. Now, I don't love it. But there's girls that do.
Yes.
There's girls that love to ride bulls. There's
Yeah.
girls that used to, what's Jane Yearing or Jan?
Oh,
She was a bareback riding machine and loved it, and that was her passion. And so in 2008, they stopped doing all the rough stock. There's not an avenue for female bull riders anymore. And, just little things like that where maybe it's not a full-blown, $183,000 added in the competition, but maybe we'll put a little money to it and have a showcase.
Sure.
And let you showcase your skills and have that stage. And we have to figure out a way to keep that, just keep that drive.
I see lots of seeds here of vision, passion, and purpose, girl.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, before I head into the rapid fire, I got one other one here. Like, we're talking a little bit here, but as you are, as the commissioner so far, what has been your biggest win? What do you go? Yes.
I would say my biggest win is when the girls get done with the event, not the girls that won first. The girls that might not have even got a check. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you so much. This is such a great event. I love this event. Like, I'm coming back. I can't wait to come back next year. Thank you for all that you do.
Feeds your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I love it. All right. My questions here. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. I'm ready.
It's about your leadership and substance.
Uh-oh.
Oh, heavy. Ooh. All right. Impact and dedication to the industry and Western lifestyle.
My impact? What's going to be written on my headstone?
Yeah. However you want to answer that. But just like, here you are, Linsey. What has been your impact right now?
I would say that my impact is that I'm not scared to say that female rodeo contestants have been underserved. It boils my blood to hear, oh, well, the girls got to pay their dues. And I said, listen, being excluded for 50 years pretty much sounds like paying your dues. And right now what's happening is you're inviting us to the table and everybody's eating steak and we're eating peanut butter and jelly. And I mean, you want to see jaws drop. And that's exactly how I say it. But would you do that to your sister? Would you do that to your mother? Would you give them a peanut butter and jelly while you ate a steak? Because that's what's happening.
Enduring legacy.
All you have to do is try. I tell my kids, I don't care if you can fail. You can land on your face, but if you tried, I'm proud of you.
Character.
My character is passionate. My character is direct, but with love and grace. You can get in a fist fight, you can do all the things, and you can throw fit and act terrible, but if you come with solutions and grace, you can get a lot accomplished.
Good advice. Integrity.
What comes out of your mouth better be your bond.
And last one, historical significance.
Carrying on the legacy of making the sport better.
Boom. Love it.
Thanks.